And so to help make sense of this, we are joined by Chairman, Chidikon Medical Center, Owerri, Professor Philip Njamante. Professor, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Now, sir, what are the potential public health and medical implications of implementing the death penalty for drug-related crimes in Nigeria?
Yes, yes, I heard the announcement by NAFDAC and the call to the National Assembly to impose death penalty. We have a lot of death penalties for a lot of offenses, including kidnapping, armed robbery, but it didn't stop the crime. So, yes, she has a point to make there that, yes, you need to impose stricter sentences. But I wouldn't say that death sentence will be the way to go on this, because there are different grades of these crimes. Now, the more lasting solution, which the National Assembly and the legislative branch should be preoccupied with, is what we call prescription rights. In Nigeria, the doctor does not have exclusive prescription right. So when you don't give the doctor the exclusive prescription right, as it is in every country which has, at least to some extent, solved this problem, you make it that it's free for all. Everybody can prescribe a drug, everybody can purchase the drug. There is no real distinction between prescription drugs and over-the-counter drugs. So the problem is inherent in the defect of an absence of what we call the prescription rights law. So that's the correct approach. So the NAFDAC, the legislative branch, the government, the federal government should focus on the draft law on the prescription right, so that you can't get any drug dispensed from anywhere without the prescription of a doctor. What this does is that it regulates almost automatically the drug supply and its dispensing, and makes it also that the drugs are tailored to the purpose that they were made. Because somebody who is well informed is prescribing that, and that's the correct thing to do. Now, if people were now to go outside acting against this prescription right, that's when you bring, sentences, maybe even not the death penalty, but even if you bring 14 years, 13 years, 10 years sentences, this would be most appropriate. So I think the problem here is that we are having the wrong focus. We are trying to solve a very complex problem with the wrong legal instruments. The correct legal instrument is prescription rights, where the doctor is the only person authorized to write a prescription for a particular purpose, and the pharmacist is the one to dispense this drug according to that prescription.
But doctor, that provision already exists. There are certain drugs you cannot get over the counter except with a prescription. But it still persists, these counterproductive ways of getting these drugs, or even selling these fake drugs. So how does that help the problem? But then again, given the burden on drug abuse on healthcare services in Nigeria, how can the medical community also support law enforcement in trying to help them tackle these issues?
Yeah, I actually contest what you just said, that it exists. It may be in some kind of theory that there is prescription rights. There is no prescription rights law that is being implemented in the Federal Republic of Nigeria today. So it actually requires, when you mandate a prescription right law, it actually is very encompassing. Right from you must have the prescription itself becomes the legal document, and so it's not what is happening now. What is happening now is just a mockery of prescription rights. Now, the counterfeit, yes, there will be drug counterfeiting. There will also be, it does not prevent drug counterfeiting. And the NAFDAC is doing a wonderful work, and we must commend them. The the gentlemen and women who are working in NAFDAC put their life on the line because these criminals are very deadly. And she's right to underscore that even her life as director will be at stake because dangerous criminals will be after her. This happened in those directors that for those directors that were there in the past. So the adequate protection of the law enforcement machinery we have in this country for those people who put their life on the line working for NAFDAC must be in place. However, having said that, the issue, we must streamline the supply of drugs. So that means we really know who are legitimate importers of the drug. If we have to, where we have to import, and when we are making this in the country, this must be going to a particular chain that is licensed. Now, the use of fentanyl or tramadol or any of this is also a regulation that can be achieved through regulating the borders of this country. What is happening is not just unique to Nigeria, it's happening in the States, in the United States and other countries, that most of these manufacturers from abroad are pushing these drugs through the borders of porous borders of different countries, including Nigeria. So I think this has to go just beyond Nigeria, whereby we have to have security agreements with countries, but if you the People's Republic of China, India, and several other manufacturers of these drugs. So we really need this to go international so that we can have a comprehensive security agreement in which this is streamlined. So they start policing the drug manufacturers from their source. I mean, we know that they have their Nigerian counterparts who actually might even be traveling there to request the manufacturing of these drugs. So we can have a cooperative chain. And once there is such treaty, either within the orbit of, you might talk the BRICS countries or other EU, Nigeria or EU-AU agreement. So once we have this security agreement, it will actually pin down these criminal manufacturers right from their source. And then we have to also do our own part here and use our law enforcement agents to crack down on this. And I must commend NAFDAC for the tremendous work they are doing, and also wish that the whole country, not just the legislative, but the people support this work because it is very useful for the country.
So, final question would be, what are the ethical concerns from the medical perspective regarding the death penalty being called for by the NAFDAC DG? Yeah, well, the ethical issues here, I think to some extent, and this is my personal opinion, really, I will underscore, that we are abusing the death sentence. When you apply the death sentence, what happens is that the crimes become more deadly because the stakes are very high. So let's say, for example, if the drug dealers notice that some people we are going to even provide or inform on them, instead of what they do now, probably to go and bribe them and forget, they will now strive to kill those people, you see, because the stakes are too high for them. So you will see these crimes, when you impose the death sentence, you will see these crimes become far more deadly because those involved have a higher stake in which they have to eliminate all manner of witnesses, all manner of people. And this is what has been noticed, not just in Nigeria, in all other countries where the death sentence has been imposed. So I kind of feel that we should not abuse the issue of death sentence and issues. It should be used as the last resort. And we have to do the needful, and we are not doing the needful. And the most needful thing is to actually legislate the prescription rights. And then once we have that, we now have a clear chain in which how the drugs are prescribed and how they should be implemented. And the people going outside this
that's when they break the law.
Professor Njimanzi, that's a very interesting final take there. Would like to say thank you very much for giving us your expert opinion.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, sir.